Good morning at Card Media. It's RJ back with another video, so let's get to it. Today's random Mike Schmidt item of the day, kind of more than one item, but one that's pertaining to Mr. Schmidt, although the others are applicable. So, I have here a book, The Baseball Hall of Shame, number 3. The reason I consider this a Mike Schmidt item is because Mr. Schmidt made the cover. Now, this book I got for Christmas. Somebody in my family purchased this off of the Bay because they were looking for Christmas ideas, and I had this book along with the other volumes of the Hall of Shame when I was a kid, when I was a younger person. Sold them during my mass sale of most of my baseball stuff, but I really wanted to get them back. And it really is a great tome of stories. Funny, sad, curious, disgusting, awesome stories about things that happened in the world of baseball and the men who did it. And you can see by the cover, some of the biggest name stars over the years participated in such chaotic episodes and earned their place in the Baseball Hall of Shame. Now, interestingly, I did not know a hardcover book existed of these books. When I was younger, I had the whole set. I had the paperback versions. I now have 1, 2, and 4 in paperback. Unfortunately, the version 3 came only in the hardback. Now, I say unfortunately, but this is actually a good thing because as a Mike Schmidt collector, when there are books about Mike Schmidt or with Mike Schmidt on the cover, if possible, I try to get both the hardcover book and its accompanying paperback book so that I can say I have everything Mike Schmidt related in my collection. So this gives me the excuse to still go out and pick up the paperback version sometime in the future. But more importantly, I'm happy to have the books to read and remember all the great stories of the past. All right, so today's random baseball item of the day. Picked this up off the Bay not too long ago and was happy to have it. Now, somebody might have to correct me on my thinking here, but in 1981, Topps no longer was the exclusive producer of baseball trading cards. Other manufacturers were permitted to begin selling baseball cards. Now, everybody knows that Donruss and Fleer began doing so. Now, Donruss and Fleer did not have the exclusive rights to do it. Topps no longer had the exclusive right to produce baseball cards. The judge, whoever decided the case, understood that creating baseball cards, if you could get a license from Major League Baseball to do it, you could, anybody could do it. If Major League Baseball was going to give anybody the rights to sell, to produce a product of baseball cards, then they could do so. They couldn't just give it to, Topps couldn't prevent Major League Baseball from giving that right to other players if it so chose, okay? But one of the caveats they came up with, and I have no idea why they did this, it was kind of stupid. If you think about it now, it's kind of stupid. Topps got in a caveat, well, fine, but we're the only company that's allowed to sell gum in our packs. That's our trademark feature. We sell gum in our packs. Which is why in the early years, Donruss did puzzle pieces and Fleer did stickers. So originally, Fleer came up with their packs of cards that included a random sticker. Every pack included 1 star sticker. And the star stickers pretty much mirrored the actual card of that player from the set, although they were numbered differently. The back looked a little different. The front was this blue star thing. They only really came inside the packs. You couldn't get them separately. Over the years, they changed that. Over the years, the sticker that was inserted became just a random team logo sticker or something like that. And these star stickers eventually became something that was released in packs of their own. This is the 1981 Fleer star sticker complete set that I was happy to add to my collection recently. I did not have, you can see here, Mike Schmidt got one of the 2 checklist cards. There's a couple checklist cards here. These are your checklist cards. You can see here they've got the entire checklist of 125 star players who made the list. Reggie Jackson, George Brett, and Mike Schmidt, clearly 3 of the most prolific stars back in 1980. Reggie just coming off his fantastic double World Series performances with the Yankees in 77 and 78. And Schmidt and Brett both being MVPs in the 1980 season. So a couple of your big name stars made the checklist cards. And this is your Fleer star sticker complete set. Very happy to have added that to my collection recently. Sorry for that minor technical glitch there. My hands are too fat for filming, apparently. I hope you didn't get too dizzy from that trip. All right. Today, what I want to show off... Oh, let's go trivia question. Sorry. Trivia question. Again, it's Hall of Fame season. I think we're just a day away now from the Hall of Fame announcement tomorrow. I have no feel for who's going to get in. I'm not really following it. You have to be on MLB.com to know. I suppose I could read some articles, but I think I'm just going to wait and find out. Started some questions this week about rookies and Hall of Fame. So here's my next question. What was the very first year in which both MVP award winners were former rookies of the year? So in other words, a single calendar year, the MVP from the American League and from the National League in that year at some time in the past were rookies of the year. They didn't have to be rookie of the year in the same year. They had to be MVP in the same year. So send me an answer to that question. Prize, 2 cards from 2021 Stadium Club, or 2022 Stadium Club, 2 Phillies rookie cards. Another Bryson Stott rookie from Stadium Club 2022, and Hans Kraus. I'm not even sure where Hans Kraus is anymore. But Bryson Stott is still running strong and is a good, awesome contributor for the Phillies every year at second base now. So those are your 2 prizes. If you can send me the correct answer to that question, shoot me an email. I will include my email in the description below, along with a repeat of that question. You will have today and tomorrow to answer, and we will pick a winner on Sunday, all right? Good luck to everybody on that. All right, today when I want to show off, I'm going to show a picture in a split second. Let's see if anybody can figure out who is in this image with me. Go.
That's right. Who is RJ standing with in this picture?
All right. If anybody was smart enough and lucky enough to identify that flash photography there, that is one Eric Kratz, former backup catcher for the Philadelphia Phillies, longtime veteran player for 9 major league teams over the years. Check out his stats if you want on Baseball Reference. Anyway, it just so happens that he was appearing in public near me. If those who know, I live in a little town called Quakertown, Pennsylvania, and about 15-20 minutes away is an area that Mr. Kratz lives in, and a local church was having a men's breakfast, and Mr. Kratz was invited to speak just this past Saturday, and I was able to get tickets. It was a ticketed event. You got breakfast, chance to hear Mr. Kratz's motivational speech. Like every former player typically has a chance to go out and talk to people. I've learned this over the years from having attended many such events. They all have a prepared motivational speech that they give, their history, things that they did along the way, people that they interacted with and whatnot. And, you know, I don't know what it costs to bring such a person in. Mr. Kratz, maybe $5,000 or something like that, $1,000. Who knows? Maybe he did it for free because he's a local guy and it was a church. He's actually a high school baseball coach. I won't tell you what school it is. You can look it up probably. But it was a local school very close to me, and I was able to go. You saw there earlier, get a picture taken with him, get him to sign 2 cards. Interestingly, both of these cards were part of full, complete sets. I do not have a loose Eric Kratz card. I didn't have one extra for sale or on my tradingcarddatabase.com. I didn't have one. These are the only 2 cards that I have in my entire collection, you know, extras and everything that have Eric Kratz on them. This one was from a minor league Iron Pigs set. I think it was 2012 Iron Pigs. This one is from the 2013, I believe, Topps flagship set. So I pulled this out and got it autographed. Therefore, the way I look at cards, I have to find replacements for both of these because the complete set can't be autographed. You can't have a random card in your set that's autographed. That doesn't make any sense to me. So I'm going to have to get replacement cards for both of these. But I was able to get Mr. Kratz to sign them, listen to his little speech. I will say this, they had baseball trivia. And they did 3 rounds of baseball trivia. The first one was all about Mr. Kratz. And then the next one was all about the Phillies. And then another one, well, the next 2 were both about the Phillies. And the way they did it was, you know, there was about 1,000 people there. There were about 1,000 guys at this event. And everybody stood up and they would begin asking questions. Each one got a little harder until, you know, if you didn't know the answer, they were going by the honor system. This is church after all. So they're going by the honor system, and if you didn't know the answer, you sat down, and it was last man standing kind of a thing. Well, at a church that size, you assume you're going to have a couple ringers, people who knew all of the answers, and I'm happy to say I stood up for all 3 rounds. It was each round was 10 questions, and I never sat down. Except that at the end, again, there was always about half dozen, you know, about 6 guys still standing, maybe a little bit more, sometimes a little less, but always a few that didn't get the answer wrong. I was one of those. I never stood down. Then what they would do as a tiebreaker is they would put up a random date. So one date was, you know, Kratz's birthday. The other was like the date he signed his first big league contract or something like that. And then they put up Mike Schmidt's birthday. And they said, who has a birthday closest to that? Well, I never won. I stood up for all 3, never won because the tiebreaker was always a date that was away from my birthday. Very upset. Until I started seeing what they were giving out as the prizes. So the only thing they were giving out were some guy got a yard flag of a Phillies. The other guy got a pair of Phillies socks. And the final guy got a Phillies lanyard. So I was not disappointed that I didn't get the stuff. But it was fun to meet Mr. Kratz, get his autograph. And I asked him 2 questions. One is, for those of you in the Philly area, I asked him about the commercials. He did a commercial. You can look it up to this day still. You can see him talking about turkey bacon from some local food manufacturer that produced the turkey bacon. It was him and a cartoon turkey going back and forth. It was very, very amusing. It became very popular briefly while he was here. And the other one, I asked him about that commercial. The other one, I asked him what was his most memorable game that he was a part of, or the greatest game he was ever a part of. And believe it or not, what he told me is that when he was with the Brewers, he was there for Christian Yelich hitting both of his cycles in the same season a couple of years ago. And he said that was probably one of the greatest games he was ever a part in because, you know, first of all, he did get to a playoff. I believe it was with the Royals. In fact, he has a World Series ring because he was a member of the Kansas City Royals in 2015. He was there in the first half of the season, so he got a ring because I know even the Phillies, they just won the division or the National League Championship back in 2022. And if you saw the rings they gave out rings to every person who played on the team, even for like almost a single day. I don't know what the cutoff was, but they gave a ring to everybody on the Phillies team who was there that season. It seemed like. So Kratz got a ring for his time with the Royals in 2015. So, but he didn't make the postseason roster with them, although he did play some postseason baseball with the Brewers in 2017, I believe it was. And he said the Yelich cycles were his most memorable and exciting games he was actually playing in. So that is my meet and greet with Erik Kratz. Picked up a couple of good, cool cards. Happy to do that whenever I get a chance. Doesn't happen too often, but when I can, I do. So hope you enjoyed that little video. If you did, please consider subscribing, commenting, and all that jazz. Don't forget the trivia question. And we'll have one more trivia question and great prize on Friday, all right? So, thank you for taking time out your busy day to watch my channel. I greatly appreciate it. Come back again on Friday for more. Take care.